Hi everyone, this is what we're having today. Nice for you. We've got fish cakes. They're not Thai fish cakes, they're not really Western fish cakes because they've got local flavour in them. We're eating them with broccoli and carrots tonight. But what we're going to show you how to do is prepare these amazing salmon fish cakes. Doesn't take long as you're organised. I think they're going to be good. I'll hand you over to Ting.
สวัสดีค่ะวันนี้มาทำฟิชเค้กแต่ว่าไม่ใช่ฝรั่งสไตล์เต็มร้อยจะมีไทยผสมอยู่ด้วยจะใส่ผักชีต้นหอมแล้วก็พริกลงไปด้วยค่ะ
Yes, here we go. Not Thai fish cakes and not really Western fish cakes either because it's got local interest, which makes them interesting. You can use any fish in fish cakes. Tonight we're using salmon because salmon is absolutely delicious. So we're going with 450 grams of salmon and 450 grams of potato. We've got 4 spring onions, a couple of sprigs of coriander, which we'll take the leaves off, we'll remove all the stalks, so it's a very small handful of coriander, a good handful of mint, a couple of red chilies to just give it a bit of a zip, and you can use a supermarket lemon and use half of it. We're using a small lemon from our garden, which we'll just be taking grating the skin of that. To go in the fish cakes as well, we're having 100 grams of garden peas, and then for flavouring as well, there's 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. Tartar sauce is better if you've got it. We've just run out, so we're going with a tablespoon of mayonnaise, 2 teaspoons of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of mustard, and 7.5 grams of parsley. The parsley will be chopped, the mint will be chopped, the coriander will be chopped, the spring onions will be sliced finely, the chilies will be sliced as well. And then once that's all together in patty, in fish cake form, you then need to cover them in breadcrumbs, which requires the use of an egg, some flour, and some breadcrumbs there. No quantities can be given because it depends how thick it is. And of course, salt, pink Himalayan, and pepper. So we'll get it ready and come back to you. Okay, so the preparation is all complete. We've boiled the potatoes and mashed them. As you can see, they're quite fluffy and smooth. The peas have been boiled until they're soft. That's as it was. The coriander and mint have been chopped. The chilies have been chopped. Now, let me say, most people would take the seeds out of the chilies first, but we like a little bit of fire here. And so we're leaving the seeds in there so that occasionally a bite has a bit of a burst to it. And the spring onions are there sliced as well into smallish pieces. The lemon, the skin has been grated, so the zest of the lemon is there. Now the next stage, of course, there's the fish. We prepared the fish in the air fryer so that the oil is not very prevalent. Looks good. And those ingredients, of course, are for frying afterwards. So the next step is to mix everything except the fish together with the potatoes. We leave the fish out because the fish is very delicate meat, and so if you mix all of this together with the fish. The fish will break up into very small pieces.
The mint, parsley, and coriander.
Oh, the mint, parsley, and coriander. I forgot the parsley's in
Yeah.
there as well. Thank you, darling. Yes, if we mix the fish in with this, it'll all get very small, tiny pieces, which is okay. But we love salmon, and so if you put it in last, it means that there will be bigger pieces of salmon in there to surprise you as much as the chilies surprise you. So we'll mix all that together, or fold it in together, and then come back when we're ready to do the fish. Okay, there we are. That's pretty well mixed through, I think. Quite green as well, which is nice. There's a lovely smell coming off it. The mint and the coriander in particular. Ting just tasted it, and it needs salt and pepper, of course. Now, this is purely personal taste, but we often make mash and have done for years, and so there's a certain saltiness and pepperiness to mash, which you can tell by tasting it. So once we've done that, we'll just take it through, turn it over a couple of times, and mix it through, and then we'll be ready to add the fish when we've had a quick taste.
We need more salt.
More salt?
Yeah.
Okay, a bit more salt, and then we'll turn it over and mix it up again.
Okay, now.
Great. So when you've got it to the right seasoning, we will fold the fish in, not too viciously. There's quite a lot of fish to go in, same weight as potatoes, so it's a sort of 50-50 in the end. So we can pop all that in, and then again turn it over until it's done through. Okay, there we are. As you can see, the fish is, this is the only tiresome bit. You just need to go on mixing it until you know that every clump that you make is going to have a piece of fish in it. It's got a lovely taste though, even though it's not actually ready yet. Now what we do is we pop this into the fridge for 15 minutes to cool it down, give it a bit more solid consistency before we roll it into balls. So 15 minutes of quick cooling. Okay, the fish cake mixture is out of the fridge, and so you scoop a spoonful up, turn it into a ball, then flatten it and douse it in flour, drip it in the beaten up egg, and then roll it in the breadcrumbs until it's covered, nicely covered, and then pop it on the plate waiting for processing. All right, so they're like a big heaped teaspoon of the mixture here, maybe a bit more, but they don't need to be absolutely huge. Just about the size of a golf ball, maybe a bit bigger, and make them into a flat rounded patty. Then roll them in the flour so that they're well covered with flour. Then into the beaten up egg, cover it over with egg, and then douse it in breadcrumbs. A lot of people use panko for breadcrumbs, but I think they're a bit like sort of paper. I don't know that they're terribly naturally inclined. These are breadcrumbs made from bread, and I think they look much nicer there. And those, as you can see, are going to, once they're fried, going to be really very tasty indeed. So we go on. Make as many as you like. You can make them small if you particularly like the crunchy outside. You can make them big if you want the potato and fish flavour to be foremost. And of course it doesn't matter how many you make, because you can freeze them. Freeze them individually, put them on a tray or a small, a big small plate in the freezer, and then once they're frozen you can pack them and defrost them as and when you need them. And once they're frozen, you can always cook them if you want in the air fryer if you don't particularly want to fry them. Anyway, we'll do this for the rest of the mixture we've got and come back to you. Well, that turned out pretty well. We made them a bit smaller this time so that we could freeze some, but I think actually we'll probably eat more. Anyway, there they are. We got 11 out of that, and they look thoroughly tasty. We're going to fry them in olive oil because we love olive oil, and you need to do them, of course, in batches so that they don't all, rub against each other and fall apart. So here we go. And they don't have to be terribly fast gas-wise. We just want to cook them until they're golden all over. So probably 3 or 4 minutes, I would guess, on each side. And then we will put them possibly on paper tissues before serving them up. When eating them, because they've got potato in them already, some people just eat them with salad. Tonight we're going to have them with carrots and broccoli. And my favourite way of eating them that we haven't got time to prepare for you this time is to have them with some parsley sauce over them. Anyway, that'll be for another time. And now we're getting them ready. You see, I've been talking so long that some of them have gone brown already. So we'll just carry on here and you'll see the results. Right, and there they are. We've served them up. And so for the two of us tonight, we're having these. We're eating them with broccoli and shredded carrots, well, stripped carrots, maybe julienne even. There we go. That's our supper for tonight. The fish cakes look absolutely delicious. The vegetables with them are pretty good. And the other 4 that we did, I told you we had 11. The other 4 have been frozen for our daughter who gets back from an up-country trip tomorrow. Enjoy your fish cakes. Make them in bulk and freeze them for your family.